What's up, my friends? Aloha, and thanks for coming back to the channel. If it's your first time out, like the video, subscribe if you're into it, and if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for anything you want to see on the channel, find me on the Instagrams. I almost said YouTubes. Personal on this side, gun-centric one over here. If you write me on these two profiles on a different platform, I'll be much more likely to get in touch with you just because it's easier for me to keep up with. Okay, so real quick video for you folks. Like in the last one, I was telling you folks how I had a bunch of BS going on with me last year that kept me from creating content. So I'm getting back on the horse, nice slow pitch. Production quality is gonna be kind of low while I'm getting back on this horse. Not that it was great to begin with, but I gotta do what I gotta do to get this content thing rolling again, kind of get my confidence up and stuff. So we're inside today, partly because it's windy, but partly also because people have told me that my background's too distracting. I don't know. But yeah, I'm renovating my house. It's crazy. All right, so today, or right now, because this is something that I can just bust out. I'm not going to be too critical of myself or editing and stuff because I'm just going to edit forever. But I'm going to talk about considerations for concealed carry. So if you haven't been following Hawaii, because of brewing and stuff, we are now a shall issue state. We've been a shall issue state since last year in August, and I've been helping a lot of people with the proficiency test, with all the necessary paperworks and things that they need to go through on this island, on Hawaii County, Hawaii Island, in order for you to get your license to carry over here. So I get a lot of different questions from people regarding, their carry gun, and just the things that you have to do in Hawaii are real. It's a lot of stuff, and it's kind of not very clear. But I wanted to talk today about selection of your carry gun. Mainly selecting like a unique gun or something that's like maybe a little bit off the wall. Because if you are choosing a gun that's not a Glock or a SIG or a Smith & Wesson, one of the like larger, like more, I'm not gonna say reputable, but more prolific brands, something that you're gonna run into is difficulties in finding holsters and aftermarket parts. So this Bullpup 9, I got it because I'm a huge nerd and I just like the technology in it. But yeah, once I got it and I shot it, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like maybe I can carry this. So I can tell you, I searched far and wide on the internet, everywhere. I cannot find, they do, Bond Arms makes holsters for these, but they're leather. There's no Kydex holster options. The Kydex holsters that are out for this don't have mod wings or claws to push this into your, back in towards your body. Just because this is a bullpup gun and, the trigger guard is where it is, from what I understand, it's difficult to make Kydex holsters for like a firearm of this size with this configuration. Again, it's a weird gun. It's the only bullpup pistol on the market. So you're not gonna be able to find holsters for this nearly as easily as you're gonna be able to find something for a Glock. Another thing that I ran into, there are no, like I called Bond Arms, I called all around the interwebs, there's no night sights for this gun. The sights are what they are. They're cool, they're good for the range, but I need night sights on my carry gun. So there's no way that I'm gonna be carrying this firearm. Another thing, this is 7+1. When this firearm came out, you were competing with the Glock 43. Actually, I think this is a little bit older than the Glock 43. The Glock 43 is 6+1. So you're getting an extra round in this guy and a significantly smaller gun. Remember, ignore the blue tape because this is what it really is without being all high speed and like tricked out. But yeah, so you do have a smaller firearm with an additional round, which definitely has something, is notable. It's something to be said. But today, we have guns like the P365, and these are nearly the same size. The Bullpup 9 is shorter, but they're the same height, and then this is 10+1, this is 7+1. On top of the fact that the P365, you can find sights for it, you can find holsters, like all kinds of aftermarket parts. SIG has their whole their custom suite on their website. You can order barrels and slides and grips and all kinds of stuff. Just parts are really easy to find. Although, as I was looking for holsters for this, you're not gonna be able to find nearly the selection of holsters that you'll be able to find for a Glock. Like, as much as people hate Glocks, and I know like it's weird to some people, I don't mind it at all, like the grip angle and all kinds of stuff. They're just ubiquitous. They're everywhere. So you'll easily be able to find holsters, sights, parts, everything you need for a Glock. And that's something that I do tell people that come up and test with me for the proficiency test and stuff, and who are looking to buy a firearm. You know, definitely find something that you can shoot well, that feels good to you. But if you do get something that, like a Glock, it's just you're never gonna ever run into a case where you're not gonna be able to find a holster for it or anything like that. I mean, maybe within the model, you know, Glock 19s, Glock 17s and stuff, they're everywhere. 48s and 43Xs are right up there, but certain times you won't be able to find, I don't know, you know, like a light bearing holster or whatever. But Glocks are everywhere. The SIG P365 series and the 320s, they're right behind, although there are some websites where I've been able to find holsters for Glocks, and I haven't been able to find holsters for the 365 and stuff. And I know some of you guys are like, what are you talking about? But they're out there. You know, for the websites that you're checking out, like Toolster and stuff, or like, or whatever you're into, sure, maybe they have them, but they're not. If you go to a Kydex site, they're gonna guarantee have Glocks. They might not have the P365 series or whatever. Just Glocks are just, they're everywhere. It's like the Toyota, the Prius, or not the Prius. What is that? The Civic or whatever. You know what I mean? It's easy to find. It's easy to find stuff for. Same goes for, you know, people have brought up like their Hellcats. They're asking me about, oh, you know, should I buy a Hellcat and stuff? Like, you know, I'm not ever gonna tell you that this brand is better than this brand or whatever, because really it's kind of like Ford and Dodge and Chevy. They're all good. You know what I mean? Like, there's little things about them that as you get into firearms and you get more involved and you increase your knowledge, for you, I mean, this is my opinion. This is purely my opinion, but for you will find reasons how come you don't like the Glock, or you don't like the Smith & Wesson, or you prefer, you know, your preferences are not for the SIG. But as long as it comes from a reputable company, and you go out there and you shoot your test, you know, you're able to test out your firearm, go through a couple hundred rounds, and you practice. I'm not gonna say train, like you don't have to go like to high speed classes, but you go out there and you practice and you dry fire and you become proficient with your gun. They're gonna work, you know, more often than not. And yeah, you do have your brands that are kind of, you know, if you get to a $100 gun, $200 gun, you know, there's definitely quality control issues and things that happen with the triggers, or just, you know, failure rates are going to be higher. But if you go with a Glock or a SIG, Smith & Wesson, established companies, more often than not, you're gonna be fine. But yeah, just a real quick video. I just wanted to put something out real quick. Because I had my baby shower yesterday. I was planning for it. It was a big thing. Renovating my house, got all kinds of stuff going on, but I'm trying to get back into this YouTube thing. So again, just to reiterate, because I know I got way off track here, this is gonna be a weird video, but you guys are just gonna get it. Thanks for bearing with me. If you're thinking about getting a firearm for carry, that's weird, like this gun, just be aware that it's gonna be very difficult for you to find. It could potentially be very difficult for you to find holsters, or sights and the parts that you need. You know what I mean? Also, if something were to happen, if this were to break, if I need to service it, I'm not gonna be able to do it as easily as I can with the Glock or even the SIG, just because the parts availability, and this is a much more like technical gun. There's a lot of weird stuff going on here. As opposed to these two guns, which are very easy to pull apart. This one more so than this one, to just completely strip apart and replace parts and fix your gun. These are easy. Also, these guns are like half the price, or even a third of the price of this one. I scooped this off Gunbroker, which everybody knows is way expensive, but this was like a $1,600 gun. So again, do I have buyer's regret? No. Because I'm a nerd and I got this because it's something different and it's special and it's cool. To me, I think it's cool. Am I gonna use it for carry? No. Am I gonna shoot at the range? Yeah. And I'll use it as an example for people when I have them come to my house. We talk about different kinds of guns. Like, hey, look, this is a double action only. This is a semi-automatic. It's a double action trigger pull. Like, I can use it to teach people stuff. It still has use to me, even though it's weird. So anyway, that's it, I guess, before I just keep going on and on. If you're choosing a carry gun, something to keep in mind or to consider above you know, the real obvious things like, you know, capacity, whatever, how it feels in my hand, how it shoots, is are you going to be able to find holsters for it? Are you going to be able to find sights? Are you going to be able to find extra parts? Are you going to be able to fix it? So those are just some considerations I wanted to throw at you guys. And I'll see you folks on the next video. Mahalo for bearing with me and all this kind of stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Aloha.